Hey guys, so it's time for the driver's door, and it looks like it is not in such a bad shape here, but still it needs attention, so I don't know, maybe there aren't so many holes and maybe we can just fix them from here without taking off the skin, but we will see. At least here we can see it's pretty bad. I don't know what's the condition of the top, but again, let's strip it and we're gonna figure out what we're gonna do with it. All right, let's assess it now. So even here we have holes. Here I'm gonna run the wire wheel now here to see what's the condition, but I guess we'll have to do the same repair here. Here the same. The hinges are pretty solid. This is gonna be a tricky part here, really tricky, because it's gonna be hard to grind, so I'm gonna have to deal with that too. Here at the top, actually here inside it's very good, surprisingly, and on the other side as well. So at least here at the top we don't have any repairs to do, but here we have to deal with the same issue as on the other door, and that's it. I'm curious about this skin. Let's start with that. Let's strip this paint here and see if is there any rust through, or we can deal with that only inside. So it looks like there's one hole here and a little bit here, but you know what, I'm guessing it's gonna be really soon the rest of it is gonna get pitted. Just make sure. Yeah, this is straight. It's perfectly straight. Oh, what should I do here? Well, to be able to repair this, I'm gonna have to peel the skin anyways, so yeah, let's do the same thing as on the other side and not bother with stupidities. And to answer hole gear 555, there's no hole here in the middle, there's only one here and one here, the drain holes. So it's the same, the front one, or that's the rear one, is in bad condition, but this one is not that bad, so we're gonna keep this one. So we're gonna cut it from here to here right away. We're not gonna take any chances of keeping the skin and then regretting it in 1 year. Yeah, so let's start with this repair. That's gonna be our first job. skin is not that bad. Let me run a wire brush through it. Yeah, it looks like it is only this area here. Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna weld this piece first inside, and then I'm gonna cut the strip and I'm gonna replace it. That's what I'm gonna do. How am I supposed to weld that? I'm not even going to be able to cut it. Unless I use the plasma cutter. You know what, guys? That's going to be it for today. I'm not in the mood to start repairing right now, for some reason. Tomorrow. At least we know what we're dealing with. Here I'm just gonna weld a little bit and grind, and yeah, we're gonna deal with it tomorrow. That's gonna be it for today, guys. Alright, so the first patch is made. I left a bigger gap this time. Hopefully it's not gonna pull, because because on the last one, if you remember, on the other door, it went in and out, and then I had to hammer it and play with it a lot. So this time I left bigger gap, and I hope it's not gonna pull and it's not gonna warp on me. And I'm gonna be cooling it down constantly with the air gun, so hopefully it's not gonna warp on me this time. Alright, I'm not gonna bother you with all the welding again. You've seen me doing that on the other door, so I'm gonna turn you off, but I'm gonna turn you on again when it's welded. Alright, this time we managed to keep it from warping, and everything is perfect. Now the skin is a little bit open, but it's gonna go down like this, and it is perfectly straight. So I'm happy this time. So I'm just gonna grind it now, and then we're gonna see what we're gonna do with the skin. Okay, it's all ground down and it feels pretty straight. Again, I couldn't make it seamless. You can still see where the weld is, here especially, and here my patch is a little bit higher than the shell. But there's gonna be some body filler required, of course, but I'm generally happy because there's no warpage, there's nothing. So next we're gonna cut this out. So it wasn't that bad, but hey, this was gonna go through soon. This is already through. The rest of it, it's not that bad, but you know what? I'm happy I'm changing it, because this way I'm gonna be sure that everything is fine. Otherwise my eyes are always gonna be here to check if the rust already started or not, right? Alright, so I made this patch for the outside too, and I just painted it, so I'm waiting for it to dry. And then we're gonna weld it, but again, I'm not gonna show you too many details of that because we've already done it on the other door. So if you want to see it in details, you can go and watch some of the previous videos where I repaired the other door. So I'm gonna repair that and then we're gonna jump on something else. Probably I'm gonna show you more details about this part of the door, but this we've done on the other door too, so you don't need to see it in many details. I'm just gonna show you a couple of things while I'm doing it, and that's it. Maybe while it's drying I can do this repair, for example. This, I think I'm not gonna replace anything here, I'm just gonna weld it. We can start this repair. Alright, it's so welded and it sunk a little bit here, maybe from here to here. It went a little bit down for some reason. Here all the way to here it's fine, but I will see after I grind it. I will try to pull it out somehow, maybe with the stinger, as Chef Tash is calling it, or stud welder, which is the proper name. We'll see, but for now I'm just gonna grind the two ends. I'm gonna flip it and I'm gonna bend the flange, and yeah, we're gonna go from there. We forgot to make the hole over there. So stupid, now we have to drill it. Ah! Alright, I drilled the hole and it became a little bit bigger than what I wanted it to be, but hey, it is what it is. At least there is a hole there. Alright guys, quick update here. It looks like this is how we're gonna go with this door. Updates. This is done, the two ends are welded. Here I didn't do a very good job with this hole. Couldn't do better because I forgot to make this hole before. So now it is a little bit too wide, but I'm not gonna bother with it. I welded here too. This was a little bit rotten here, so I welded some holes here, some thin metal that now it is thicker. So welded and ground down. And here too there were some holes in the corner, if you remember. So these were ground too. These were welded too and ground down. A little bit of body work is gonna smoothen this out. And I also had some holes here, if you remember. Just teeny tiny holes in the deep corner. So I welded those too and ground them down. And now I'm just gonna grind this. I'll try to pull this area here out a little bit if I can. Alright, so I decided to do that now. I thought it would be a good idea to weld the studs to the existing welding, so then it's easier to grind them down instead of welding them to a very thin metal and being very careful when grinding them down. So I secured the door in the vise and now I'm gonna try to weld some studs there and pull the dent out, or the warped part out. Wow. Yeah, it's definitely working, but it's snapping all the studs. For some reason they don't weld very well to the weld, so that's fine. It snapped again, but just in time because I'm done. Well, I know it's not the best. I've done better before, but yeah, it is what it is. There's gonna be some body filler here. It's actually straight. It's a straight line and it needs to be a little bit curvy. So anyways, a little bit of body filler here and this is gonna be perfect. So the bottom of the door is completed now, and now I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clean up this area. I already know what it has to look like. We have the other door here, so I don't need actually there's nothing there to keep for reference. I'm just gonna keep this corner for reference and I'm gonna cut it. Well, even here. See, it's snapped here. So here we're gonna have to weld it. We have to replace a piece. So I'm gonna cut it now. I'm gonna cut what I don't need and we're gonna go from there. Alright, it's all cleaned up now. The rust is away and now we can start repairing it. Always when I start repairing an area and when it's all rust and flakes and stuff, I get really discouraged. But always when I start cleaning it up and I cut all the metal up to somewhere where it's fresh metal, when it's solid, and then it becomes so much more easy, or I don't know how to explain that feeling, but once I clean it up, I'm already encouraged and I can't wait to start working on it again. So now I have this feeling like, okay, now it's cleaned up, now we start building it up. So the first thing I'm gonna do is here, you see where it's cracked, this. I don't know if I can show you on the other side. Let me switch the camera a little bit. Alright, so I hope you can see. This is how originally the piece was coming up to here, this piece. It's wrapped around. Probably it's plug welded or tucked here. And that was all one piece up to here. But now this is cracked. So what I think I'm gonna do, I don't want to replace piece, but I'm gonna put a piece of metal behind this hole here. And I'm gonna just fill this up with weld and then I'm gonna grind it. So I hope this is gonna work. I'm sure it is gonna work. So I'm gonna start with this so I have a solid base to work on. So I think that looks beautiful. And it's nice and solid now, so now we can start building the rest. And just to show you on this side, doesn't look too bad too. The piece of metal that we put there, it's not on the way on anything, so we can build our what should we call it, shell here. Alright, I'm fabricating here my patch based on this, and to be honest, this time I think it works much faster and easier because it is because I already know what I'm doing, right? Yeah, so just wanted to show you what I'm doing while you're waiting. So we have the mirror image of that. It looks bigger to me, but actually, yeah, it's a little bit bigger here at the top, but this always can be cut because this is gonna be welded there. And as a width, it is the same. So it's pretty much okay. Now we are on to the next one. Okay, so this patch that goes here is ready, and I think this time what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tack it in place, and then I'm gonna put the other one, which is I'm sure I made it. Did I dream about it only? Well, I'm sure I made it anyway. So when this one is in place, tucked, I'm just gonna put the other one. I'm gonna trace it, and I'll see where I need to cut this one, and I'll weld the other one here. And then for here I'm gonna have to add another triangle piece and weld this whole part, but that's gonna be later. Okay, so it's tucked in place, and I traced pretty much where I want to cut this, and we're gonna start cutting it. Alright, I'm gonna leave this area for later, and I'm gonna jump on this one now. And of course, I'm not gonna weld it now, I'm gonna weld everything at the end. So let me make this patch, tuck it in place, replace this flange, and then maybe we're gonna come back and fix this area. But this time, it's much easier, much faster, and I believe that also it looks much better, at least so far. Don't tell anybody. And here's the patch for this part. It's pretty well. There are some gaps that need to be filled, but I'm a specialist already with welding with big gaps. So yeah, so I'm just gonna prime it at the back. This is already primed, so I'm gonna prime this at the back, and I'm gonna weld it there. Alright, the patch, I just primed it and it's drying, and I shouldn't forget to drill holes for the plug welds here. Alright, it's so tucked in place. I welded it here and I ground it so I can put a strip of metal like that, and to represent the overlap of the skin. And I'm gonna weld it here, and that's gonna be it for this repair. Of course, it needs to be welded, ground. I need to take care of this area here, but that's easy. Alright, so this is all tucked. I'm gonna weld it now, I'm gonna grind it, and then I'm gonna bring you back. Alright, everything is welded now. It's still hot. I fixed also this area here, put a patch there, and welded everything, so now it is time to grind it. Even here I managed to weld and ground it to the shape which it's supposed to be, supposedly. But we will see for this if it's, like I said in the other video about the other door, if this area here doesn't fit very well with the fender on the car, we can always add weld or we can grind down, that's not a problem. So let's grind it. Alright guys, so finally this area is done as well, and it's, to be honest, I like it much better than the other side. It turned out really well. And the last thing now for this hole is this. And this is gonna be tricky because I don't have access here unless I cut this wing off and weld it back, but I don't have such intentions. So yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be tricky to make this hole some shape so it can be welded, but we'll see. So let's get on it because it's late and I want to finish it before I go home. So this way I don't need to come tomorrow. So what I'm thinking is to give it some shape at least. Okay. It's the funniest shape for a patch ever, right? But what can we do? I'm not really sure if I'm gonna be able to weld it there in the corner, but we'll see. Alright, so believe it or not, we have a patch that fits that hole. That's funny, you know? Anyway, so now we have to weld it there, and the problem is gonna be how we're gonna grind it. I don't even know how we're gonna weld it, but we will attempt something. Alright, I think I managed to weld it, but that wasn't the hard part. The hard part is gonna be to grind it now. Alright, there is a hole there in the corner. I don't know if you see it. So that's gonna be pain in the butt. Well, it's a big hole. But so far so good, huh? Alright, there in the hole, there's no hole anymore, so I just run a longer bead down, and now it doesn't look beautiful, the ending, but it is more than what I expected. And actually this area here, I was very scared about it, but actually it was not that hard to do. So yeah, that's thanks to this bit that Eugene gave me. Without it I wasn't gonna be able to do it. So, perfect, now we can go. I can finish grinding here at the top, but that's easy, and then we'll have to patch this. And now let's square this off and see how we're gonna deal with it. Yeah, I won't be able to make it perfect shape now, but I will start welding it, and then I think I will be able to do it, to work with it a little bit while I'm welding. You will see what I mean. You're recording. Alright guys, finally we can call this door done. I managed to squeeze everything for about this door in one video, but if you want to see more details about how I did the patches on the other side and everything, you can go and watch my previous 3 videos about the passenger door, and there I did a lot more detailed explanation of what I'm doing with the patches. But I'm happy. I'm happy with this area here. I was really concerned about this area here. How was I gonna weld it? How was I gonna grind it? But actually it worked well. So now the doors are done and we can jump on something else. Actually we have to fit them on the car, but that's gonna be on in the next video. We will fit the doors on the car and see how does this area fit here, because I'm not sure if I managed to keep the shape as it's supposed to be, but I'm guessing it's gonna be fine. So that's it. So thanks for watching again, thanks for subscribing, and I am gonna see you in my next video. Bye.